Hey there. Okay, the recording is in progress, and here we are. Hi, everybody. It's what is it? It's Monday. It's time for our Monday show, our pop-up show, my favorite show of the week. The one where we have a bunch of wonderful people who like each other. Isn't that nice? You don't hear that much today in talk programming. Just nice people talking to each other about mostly nice things. Sometimes we get a little into politics, but in this day and age, you can't help it. Okay. Let me see here. I just want to adjust a few things here, make myself, there we go. See the picture of Marjorie Ware up there? That's an old picture of Marjorie when she was a young girl. And I would have had sex with her in a second. I'll tell you, that woman's good looking. That's a good looking woman. Anyway, where are we? Okay, let's bring everybody in. Okay. Instead of me talking about how much I would want to have sex with Marjorie back when that picture was taken. Uh, Hello, Scott Boddicker.
What picture? I'm just coming in. What picture?
Oh, the one up there. Where is it? That one.
At Trace Magazine?
Was that it?
Yeah, that's when I worked at Trace.
Yeah, you look great there. You look really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. But then again, I guess we all look better when we were younger, right?
Yeah.
What a terrible thing to happen to us. You fall apart. It's wonderful. Let me see here. Scott Boddicker. Hello, Scott. Oh, where are you outside or is that just, oh, that's some kind of giant, is that outside your window? What is that?
Oh no, we're on vacation in South Carolina.
Oh, I
I'm
see.
on a screened-in porch, and it's hot and humid here, like you can't believe. So I don't know how long I'll last.
Well,
Or if my computer will make it through the humidity.
I want to see you just fry. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
baby.
what I want to see. Okay. But that's a beautiful, beautiful place. God,
Yeah.
that is the outdoors, right?
Kind of. It's screened in. It's
I
a
know, I know what
separate
you're doing.
building from the house. What?
I'm saying that isn't some kind of like phony photograph
No,
you
no,
went
no,
out and bought
no.
and hung up on your wall. Because you remember there was a period of time where people would buy pictures like that and put them on their wall, do their whole wall in them. Oh God, I feel like I'm outdoors. No, I'm
It's the island of Palms and just north of Charleston, South Carolina.
and why do you go to South Carolina? Is there a reason?
Well, my daughter got married here about 5 years ago, and the whole family's here, and it's kind of convenient. The it's too far to drive to where we like to go to, and it's an easy flight to Charleston for everybody. And my daughter from North Carolina can drive it in about 3 to 4 hours.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's
Well,
nice. Yeah,
that's a
thank
nice
you.
vacation. And there's Marjorie, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I would like to take a vacation with, but you may have to have a knee operation,
A knee replacement.
a
Oh
knee
boy.
replacement. Yeah. You know why I wouldn't go through something like that right now, Marjorie, at my age? Because okay, they replaced the knee and then I'm dead a year later. What a waste of fake knee, you know?
Well, I'm hobbling around too much in the turning a lot.
Yeah, well, maybe why don't we just cut it off? Wouldn't that be easier? I mean, if they just cut it off, then we could go on vacation,
We
right?
could.
Right? And it'd be cheaper probably to cut it off than to do the knee operation. Anybody here had a knee operation? Any of you?
Paula has had
Paula has. Oh, you have
replacement.
both of them, right?
No, just one. That was
Just one.
enough.
And how
And,
long?
and I think it was a good thing to do, really.
Yeah.
You
And
have to you have to go through it, but when you come out of it, I mean, I can walk now. I can go for a long walk, and it's a lot better.
Yeah,
it's a
I
lot better.
can't.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, my question would be, how long did it take you to overcome it? How long was the recovery?
It's long. It's um you go through the surgery, and after that, you have to go through physical therapy, and
Yeah.
it's months.
But I mean, is it like more than 3 months?
Yeah. I mean, in all, before you can really walk. Yeah, but it's the recovery is not that terrible, and I mean, from this angle now, where I am, I'm very
In
grateful.
other words, how long could it be before we could go on a vacation? That's all
6 months.
I care about.
Yeah, it's a while. Yeah, it's like um,
Well, I look at it, the sooner I do it, the sooner it's over and I
But you should have done it
can recover.
years ago, damn it. You know, I may go away on my own. I may go to San
Okay.
Francisco or do something. I got to get out of here, you know. But anyway, so Paula says 3 months plus, right?
oh yeah, it's I would say like
I didn't like that. Oh yeah.
six
Yeah.
months and before you're before you're walking around freely.
Okay.
It's not that long in terms of I'm trying to think of
Well,
it's like a
she's got to do the physical therapy, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
physical therapy. Um, and you start out with the worst of it really was the walker. I mean, I felt like I was
Oh, you get to
106.
buy her a walker?
But it's free. You graduate from the walker to a
To a
cane. I
cane.
love that too.
Do a cane. Well, I do a cane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then I mean, I am free to have a nice walk now. It's
We
just
get when we let me ask you this. I mean, it's an important question, I think, and I think all of you are interested in the answer to it. When we get the walker, do we buy the tennis balls to put on the bottom? Or do they? I notice everybody buys the tennis balls and puts them on the bottom.
I didn't.
Why don't
When
they
I
just
had a
come? Why don't they
walker, I
just
did
come?
not
Well,
have
why
tennis.
don't they just come with the tennis balls?
Well, what's the purpose of the tennis balls?
It makes it easier, I think, for you to slide and do things like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
If you-
Where you don't have to pick it up all the time.
Listen, my memory is
Mhm.
that it didn't take. I think maybe it was a week with the walker, and then after that, it was
Cane.
a cane. I mean,
Okay.
it's a pain in the whatever, but
And what you're also saying is that I'm going to have to be on server on bended knee, right? I'm going to have to get everything for her.
And your point is,
no,
And what?
it won't be that long.
Well, my point is, it's not my knee.
Well,
It's-
you'll have to be on bended knee until hers can bend.
By the way, Edward Berger's here today.
That's right.
I love his voice. And of course, our good old friend Andrew Deutsch is here. Len LaFrisco, as always. Even when he's on vacation, he tries to call.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, John Ewing. Hello, John. How are you?
Good, Alex. How are you?
Good. And of course, we said Paula, and then there's Charlene Solis, and the lovely and attractive Charlie Wallace with his T-shirt today that says,
what does it say? I can't.
My favorite childhood memory is my back not hurting.
Oh yeah.
"Okay, fine, great."
That's a
Really,
good one.
we feel like a bunch of old farts here, don't we? Who's the youngest one here today? How old are you, Andrew?
Say that again.
How old are you?
I can't hear you.
How old am I? I'll be 59 in August.
Okay, so Len, how old are you?
65 next month. So,
Okay, so you're older than him.
yep.
Okay, John Ewing.
72.
Okay, Paula, we won't even ask her, but we know she's older than.
I'm the same age as Marjorie is what I am.
We grew
Sure.
up together.
Charlene Solis,
70.
70. Okay, if you're 59, okay. Everybody here is older than Andrew Deutsch.
Correct.
True.
He's the kid of the group. Did you?
He's the only one working too.
Well, see, at that age, you still have to work.
Yeah.
You
Or
know,
want to. I like what I do.
although I was talking to somebody yesterday about this. We were sitting around talking, doing a couple of joints and waxing poetic. And well, I said that, what was I saying, Marjorie? I forgot where when I do the build up to these things these days, by the time I get to it, I can't remember what I was saying.
And I
That's what
can't
she said.
Yeah.
Well,
It's true.
I'll
Wow, that was a riveting story, Alex. Thank you.
yeah, it's time to pack it in, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But no, but what were we talking? I was about getting old. What was I talking about? Where
I
was I?
have no idea.
Joints yesterday. You were
What?
having joints.
Joint.
You were
No,
having
Looking
joints
at
yesterday.
before that,
Uh,
what was I leading into? Huh?
Age.
Were
A,
we talking about joints as in knees, or are we talking about joints as
no.
in
no, we were
joints?
talking about joints as in joints.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I can say that now, because it's legal almost everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's I was talking to somebody the other day. We were talking about the fact that how people got arrested for smoking marijuana. And that was only a few years ago, and they got large sentences in prison.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I watch cops sometimes at night, and in is it Texas? I think it's still a felony.
Yes, it is still a
Is
felony.
that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Really?
it's not just so it's still
But
there.
it's not legal.
Well, didn't we somehow make it legal federally? Didn't we?
I don't think so.
It's
I think the
Right there.
states still have the right. Pennsylvania's pretty strict, I think.
really.
Florida, Texas, yeah, I think there's still a felony.
Ohio voted it in legal, and then the state house, and they're trying to restrict, even though the people voted for it.
Really?
Why?
They haven't yet, but they're trying to.
I'm wondering what the thinking is about that.
There's where I am right now in this industrial park. When I leave, I drive past a marijuana processing plant, and sometimes that smell gets in my car, and it doesn't leave until I get home 45 minutes later. It's brutal.
Here's the thing that I have always
That's a good thing
You
to
have
tell
a
the
nice
cops.
buzz.
Huh?
He sits there for 3 hours.
I wouldn't know. I can't tell time at that point.
I remember when I was living in California, and I had a convertible. I had the T-top is what it was, and I could take the top off, and I would drive up through Sonoma, like I take a girlfriend or something up there, and we have dinner or whatever. And driving back in about, I think it was maybe August or September when these grapes all ripened, or they pulled them, or something happened with them. You could smell the grapes.
Oh yeah.
And I smelled them miles and going miles and miles and miles. So you know what I'm talking about, Len, right?
Yeah, I mean we live in grape country here, so yeah, I smell it in August, September, October during the harvest. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if you go up to Mendocino, will you get high driving down the road?
I'll report back. I'll let you know.
I got high up in Mendocino years ago where I met a guy a doctor, who his only business was doing marijuana recommendations. So people could then
Wow.
get it legally. All right.
Mhm.
And we went upstairs to his apartment from his office, and he pulled out some joints that were local. Oh my God. I mean, Mendocino was the best place that pot was being grown at that time. And it was wonderful. It was just amazing.
What years are you talking?
I can't remember.
But they all say.
Yeah.
Did it happen before or after Lincoln assassination?
Oh.
There's a there. Let me see here. No, where were we? Now, where was I when I was talking about that? Oh, yeah. So Marjorie loves her pot, don't you, Marjorie?
I do.
How much do you love it?
Well, I have
On a basis of I love it to I really love it.
I
Where does it?
really love it, but on the basis of the strength of what I have, it only takes 3 puffs. So
Right.
Do you love it enough to name the bag Alex?
it is. Got his name on it.
But she starts smoking, and the smoke comes over my way, and I get kind of a contact high, which I don't really want. like I have to do a show now, and I don't like to get high before I do a show. And she was smoking a joint earlier, and I smelled a little bit of it, and I had to kind of turn my head and get out of the way of it. But the fact is that marijuana does have that effect. You can get other people high if you're doing it in their presence. And I think people should have a consideration of that because some people just don't want to get high. If I don't want to get drunk, nobody's going to pour liquor down my throat, you know?
The one thing, Alex, that I never contemplated, I'm all for legalization. I don't smoke. But
Yeah.
I never contemplated how it was going to change the smell of everywhere you go. In Washington, D.C. and Maryland, you stop at an intersection, your car
It
stinks.
doesn't change,
No, but it's out in the street everywhere. You can smell
which is
marijuana.
wonderful.
If you like the smell.
It's wonderful unless you don't want to get high.
I'm not talking. I don't even worried about getting high. I just it smells like a skunk everywhere I go when I'm in cities that it's legal.
Yeah.
But I'm also not telling people don't smoke it.
But
When they were smoking tobacco,
whoever thought
it was awful to be around a bunch of tobacco smokers.
Who would have ever thought you would enjoy the smell of skunk? I had a girlfriend, and she and I would be driving down the street in the same T-top, okay? And we'd be driving down the highway, and somehow somebody had run over a skunk. We love that smell. Now, why do we love skunk smell? Skunk smell is supposed to be terrible. It's because we associated it with pot. Skunks smell beautiful when you think about it that way. So, anyway, then we used to call it skunk weed at one point.
Bad weed was called skunk weed.
Yeah, skunk weed.
Yep. John knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about four-finger lids?
Yep.
Lids, yes.
Nickel, dime, and lid. Yep.
Yeah.
It was Welcome to the 70s.
Yeah.
What's a four-fingered lid?
If you have a
plastic bag,
a baggie, okay, of marijuana, and it's 4 fingers high.
That's how you measured it.
But
it was
in a plastic bag. One finger was a nickel, 2 was a dime, 4 was a lid. And then what was it? Was it a full bag was an ounce or something like that?
An ounce,
yeah. But in those days, you bought an ounce usually. If
Mr. Moneybags.
I remember once somebody said, "Here, would you take care of this for me? Because I can't take it around with me. I'll come back and get it." And it was a pound of marijuana, and it was a pound of Jamaican marijuana. So he never came back.
Forgot where
he was Jamaican. You smoke it.
I was stuffed with a pound of marijuana.
Oh, that's a shame.
And so I would smoke some of it, but I couldn't smoke a whole pound of that stuff. Because if you bought a pound of marijuana and then you started smoking it, once you got to a certain point, you were too used to that pot. You wanted other pot. Am I right? John?
Yeah. Diversity.
I know I could get an answer out of him. And so I'm stuck with this pound of marijuana. I finally flushed it down the toilet. I mean, there was
geez.
Alex.
Well, I was giving it away to people when they came over, but there was
but in those days, Jamaican wasn't that great.
And Jamaican was horrible.
It was horrible.
You could smoke. I could have smoked, I think, a pound at once and not gotten high with that.
Probably.
Did the alligators in the sewer get high on it? Attack people?
Yeah. We remember the alligators supposedly in the sewers.
Yeah.
Was that true? Was that true?
Yeah. Supposedly, they found people would get these pet gators and caimans, and when they were in Florida, and the thing would bite them, and they'd flush it. They found some in the sewers.
Yeah,
really.
There wasn't like a massive gator eating sewer workers.
That's not just a myth.
I understand it's not.
What did I find out was a myth yesterday? We found out something because our friend looked it up, and it turned out it wasn't true. And I'm trying to remember what it was now. It was something all my life I thought was true. And, there are a lot of those myths out there. So,
yeah, there's a bunch in the business world. Like the Nova, the car wouldn't sell in Mexico because Nova means won't go.
Won't go.
And they sold Novas every day in Mexico because the word for Nova in Spanish is Nova. So
Were they,
That
were
they
they,
teach it in business school. It was, I remember it in the textbook when I was in undergrad and thought it was so stupid.
And all of this still lives on AI.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All the false information is still there.
well, the thing is that all AI does is it goes out and uses the whole internet as its source.
Right. And it
So
doesn't distinguish one from the other.
it
No.
doesn't distinguish fake from real. Yeah. But I'll tell you what I do. I got to tell you about AI. So I got to do promos for the Gabnet every now and then. I haven't done many lately, but I decided finally I'm so lazy and I don't feel like writing them. Let's see if AI can write them. So the other day I had AI write me a promo for me for my Life in the Passing Lane, which is my life story. It wrote a spot that was better than I could write. And you know what things it weren't exactly just right. I just go in and tweak, you know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and we're on our way. But here's the part I found out that what was it the other day I heard that kids in college are using AI to write their papers.
Oh yeah.
It's okay. The professors are using
You
AI
know
to
that
grade them.
I was going to
Yeah.
say
Mhm.
the professors are using AI to read them and to grade them.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're going to say. Is this AI going to say, pretty good for AI? Okay, I'll give it an A.
I use it often for ideas and to proof my work when I'm writing marketing copy.
Oh, really?
I won't use what AI writes as mine, but I'll let it edit and I'll read the edits and then go back and say, oh, this is something I can use. No
Well,
different than if I hired an editor, a professional editor.
tell her that tell it that you want it to write something, you want it to contain this and that, and then it writes it and you've used it.
I write the document and I put it into AI and say either proof it or revise for a certain feel or a certain, make this look more professional, make this more casual, make it funny.
Yeah,
And then I'll read what it comes out with, and then I'll look at it and take suggestions, and I go back to my original text and rewrite it.
which AI program do you use?
I use mostly Gemini from Google, but I also use Copilot from Microsoft.
You don't use the GPT?
And I don't like it
Why?
because the few times that I've seen it give me bogus data in the edits.
Mhm.
So whenever it suggests stuff, I go back and research it to see if it'll add one more point to what I've written. Many times it's not quite accurate to or a misrepresentation of the data.
But Gemini is?
So far, I have yet to have Gemini give me a bad reference that I look up.
Well, Gemini is whose company?
Google.
Google.
Google owns it.
Now, how much does that cost, or doesn't it cost?
I don't have a paid version.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I wrote something the other day, and I write long. People who look at my Facebook sometimes go, "Holy shit, how'd you write all that stuff?" But I usually write it, and then I ask Gemini to get me actual data references to support what I'm saying, and
Mhm.
then I'll put them at the end of what I write, if I can verify that they in
Well, you
fact.
use it as footnotes.
I use it for a lot of things, but I don't take what AI writes and say, you could say to the AI, hey, prove that so and so is this because of this, and it'll write an article that'll do that. Or you could say, write a short story about a flatulent king who threw himself a parade that nobody showed up for, and it'll write a short story. You don't.
Yeah, Andrew, it'll write a short story for you, but that thing about references, when you check a reference, what's the guarantee that it's going to be an accurate reference? My understanding is
Mine are guaranteed references because I then go and if I can't find that the reference is valid, I don't use it.
You can't.
I proofread what it does.
okay.
So I wrote something about a legal thing the other day, and it referenced 7 cases. And then I had a guy that I used for that to research each one of them, and they were absolutely valid to the argument I was making in the document to my client.
You had somebody verify it.
Yeah, because I don't have access to LexisNexis to go back and find them. But my assistant that does, he was able to verify one by one and show me the references. There was one it sort of supported it, so I deleted it because it did, but it wasn't 100%. So I deleted it because I don't want to use references that make me look like an idiot for not, like the White House does.
Right. I have heard that some of the
Yeah.
references are bogus.
Yeah. Yeah, you're an idiot if you publish somebody else's work. If I hired somebody in my office and said, "Hey, write this article," I don't have any way of knowing that they're not bullshitting the references.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I check my employees' stuff when they reference things to make sure that that they're valid. I'm not up to getting
Now, the
sued.
question is, there's a lot of people talking about AI and talking about it in a fearful manner, like they're afraid of
No,
it.
they just don't know how to use it. I mean,
Yeah.
it can be used for certain things, but you have to be aware that it's not the same as doing the kind of reference that you can depend on.
Yeah. Your buddy there, Bill Maher, Alex, he says now that he won't even yell at his car anymore when it says stupid things. He's afraid of his car. The car will tell him you left the keys in the car and he didn't, and he'll tell the car to go F it. He won't do that anymore. He's afraid of his car.
Really?
He said it multiple times and didn't say I'm kidding. So
See, I think that, well, to begin with, AI has been around for a while.
of
It's
course.
just that all of a sudden we're making a big deal about it. But I see it as something that can be used for good or be used for bad. But that's what we do
Exactly.
that's what we
Exactly.
do with technology. I mean, how many things you've got computers. Computers are wonderful. Your iPhone is wonderful, but get one like spam call and you realize it can be used for bad too.
Yep. Well, it's funny too because they have limits, Alex. So, for example, if you tell the AI draw a picture of of Trump in jail, it won't do it. But if you say draw a picture of a bloated orange man with crazy yellow hair and a blue suit and a red tie in jail, it'll do it. So you have to you have to tell
Why
it
why won't it do it if you want?
because it has like limits for political speech and some other stuff to prevent it, I guess, for getting themselves in
Really?
trouble. There's certain things you can't ask it to do something ultra violent. You can't. There's certain times where I've tried to create graphics in there, and it says I can't do it. So then I just go back and describe what it is without a name, and it'll do it.
So there's a way around it.
Yeah, if you look at my Facebook and you see some of those crazy pictures that I use, all of those I generate with AI. Those I describe it in detail what I want, and it creates it.
Well, I'll tell you, we have somebody coming on here who used AI the other day. Can you hear me, Albert?
I can. How
Okay.
are you all?
He sent me something the other day. I have a photograph of myself with my wife, ex-wife, my late wife, Ronnie, and John and Yoko. And there are some people standing behind him. And you ran it through something and made it into a video.
I read that Google had a new video AI generator, which can make full movies. It can generate from nothing, just from verbal prompts or word prompts, or you can put a photo in there or some kind of visual help.
Mhm.
And it will help you edit through a whole movie, a complete movie, complete with effects and everything. And I was able to get a hold of the old version, which is only 6 months old or so. The new one is 6 months newer. And I just put that picture in, and it generated a motion picture of you guys sitting around, zoomed out, and John's moving his head, and you're moving, everybody's waving, and it zooms out, and there are other people in the picture that don't even exist in the picture.
Right.
It's
Jeez.
really freakily
It's bizarre.
real.
However, some of the weirdness of it, it took Yoko's face and turned it into another Asian woman.
I thought it turned it into a Caucasian woman.
Really?
I
Oh,
didn't think it was an Asian looking woman.
John stayed the same.
John, for the most part, stayed the same.
I
yeah.
never changed. in it.
No, you're as hideous as
Ronnie
you were.
looked different at the end, but she still was pretty much herself and laughing. Everybody's laughing and waving. Did you tell them to laugh and wave?
That was essentially the prompt. Wave hello to the camera, and that was it, really.
And so I
generated everything
I
else.
clicked on this thing, and you wrote me and you said, "Did you have a video of this moment?" And I said no, and then I didn't know that what he had done was that. Now he had to go back and I guess resend it to me, and I suddenly noticed it had a prompt on it as it was a video, and then I played it. I haven't shown it to you yet, Marjorie. I keep meaning to show it to you.
Yeah.
It's
Is there any way you can
bizarre.
share?
It's just
Can you-
bizarre. Well, I probably can take it and put it up on Facebook.
I'd
Uh,
love to see it.
I
mhm.
can see if I can get it up now if you hold on.
Yeah, if you put it on my Facebook page.
What she said.
Facebook, and I'm not on social media, so that ain't gonna happen.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't do it there.
He could share his screen here if you
I
let
can
him.
share my screen here.
Can you?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
Well, talk for a second so I can see whether I can put this thing up or not.
Hello there. I'm Alex.
Vamp. Vamp hour.
Oh, yeah. You're going to see if you can get it?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can put it on.
Let's
on
see if
one
you
of
can
my-
do it. Let's see what it does. If it doesn't screw up my whole Zoom.
Give me a
Oh,
second.
it'll be fun.
I've never done this before, so
Oh, well, that's the problem.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
You have to. Yeah, I think you have to give him permission to share.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, at first I have to find the file because, of
Oh.
course,
I'll tell you what we do. Why don't you just take it and put it up on my Facebook page? Oh, you don't do social.
I don't have Facebook.
Then just send it to him, Albert.
No, he sent it. He
No,
sent
I have it. I have it here.
Okay.
You know what? I don't see the share button.
Yeah, I think Alex has to give permission.
Do I not have the share button up?
No, I don't see a share button.
Oh,
Do we have to push anything?
No, it would be Alex
No.
who's
it would
the
have to be
organizer.
me, and I can't do it. There's a host tools. Would it be in host tools? Where?
This is a tool.
No. Oh well. I'll figure it out later. I have it, and I'll send it somehow out. I don't.
Yeah.
I'll put it on.
Put it on-
I'll put it on the Facebook page later. Okay.
Cool.
So just check back.
Is
to-
it too big to email to Alex or put into a
No,
shared
I
drive? You can
have
download
it.
it.
He has it.
I have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a share thing, isn't there? But we're not using it. I've got it blocked out or something. I don't know.
By the way, Giller sends his regards. I don't think he's going to be on. He doesn't have access to public Wi-Fi. Believe it or not, he's not in
Yeah,
his apartment.
You see, he's away from. He's in Ohio.
Yeah, he's down in Yellow Springs. He was in Springfield, Ohio
He
yesterday.
left
but
his
didn't-
apartment?
He left. Yeah, he's in Yellow
Oh my
Springs doing
God,
research.
that's a-
It's about 5 minutes from Springfield, Ohio. So I assume he's having a nice poodle sandwich.
Oh, okay. Well, also, I got a nice note today from Francine Witt, who said she can't be here for the next 2 weeks. Very nice. Some many people write me when you're not going to be on, which is kind of, I think.
Well,
They want to give up their salary.
yeah.
We're like Democrats. We're all paid actors.
Anyway,
George Soros is paying us.
so did everybody enjoy the parade on Saturday? Boy, that was great.
My favorite part was the guy holding a drone over his head, a publicly purchased JTI common drone. That's a soldier. Poor guy. I feel bad for all of our military that had to participate in that thing.
Oh,
And
me
it
too.
probably didn't-
Dishonored by the president, all of them.
Well, no, but I don't know how many people there wanted to be there. But if you're in the military, you had to be there.
You don't have a choice.
And you couldn't I said, I just wanted one of them to walk past the reviewing stand and give them the finger, you know? But
I
was
I only
hoping- I was
saw.
hoping-
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Huh?
No, I was just gonna say I was hoping there were some bullets in some of those howitzers.
Yeah.
Hey. But yeah, I mean, if you looked, I saw bits and pieces of video. I've never seen soldiers with less interest in marching.
Yeah.
They weren't in unison. They were like they really didn't give a crap.
Well,
They were
he
just
claimed there were 250,000 people there.
there were
No
20.
way.
Newsmax reported less than 20,000, and then they took it down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
of course, there
there
were
was
something now an estimated 9 million showed up for no kings. But of course, they were all
Yeah.
paid actors, you know.
Yeah.
I never got my check. I was there, but I never got a check.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We were
You
obviously
didn't fill out the right forms in triplicate.
But you know,
The check is in the mail.
I got to tell you something, and this is kind of my theory about stuff. People ask me, "Are you going to go to the demonstration?" And I go, "Well, I'd love to go to the demonstration, but I'm old. You know, I got to walk from Bryant Park down to
Union Square.
Union Square. In my younger days, I could have done that without even breathing hard. I could have done that when I was 60, 70. But today, it's just not in my wheelhouse. And so I kind of feel that I did a lot of demonstrating in my time. I did my job. Okay. And now it's the job of younger people to take up the mantle.
Yep.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I support them completely. And anything I can say online or here to support them, I support them. But it just, and I told Marjorie, well, maybe we should just go down there and show up at the beginning so they have the numbers. Okay. So we add to the numbers and then we'll go home. Okay. But you didn't even want to do that.
I couldn't.
Yeah. So did our friend Adrian go?
Yeah.
She did go. How long did she get all the way down to?
I haven't spoken to her yet.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow.
Find out if she got all the way down to. It isn't that far.
No.
Bryant Park to
Union Square.
Union Square, which is 23rd Street.
No, 14th.
14th Street. Okay, so it's 14th. Not far. Not far at all. But that was the big thing that happened over the weekend. Wow, what a wonderful parade in Washington. What a waste of my money and your money. And, I mean, and did you notice it had sponsors? There were sponsors for it.
Apple.
Yeah. How many homeless veterans do you think they could have fed with $50 million? Just asking for a friend. I really don't care.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of homeless out there.
I'm talking veterans. It was the Army's
homeless veterans, and
you got to feed a lot of people. But the veterans, I think, have I think they're probably important enough to feed.
Yeah.
I don't know,
And by the way, there are less people helping the veterans right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
People are leaving the VA, the counselors and stuff.
Well, a lot of people were fired from the VA.
Yeah.
Right.
And so they didn't have that. I was arguing with somebody yesterday, I think, about that. And he said, well, the VA is still doing a good job. And I said, no, it can't. All the people are leaving. There are no people there to administer it.
Yeah, that's all right. It turns out 99.9% of the people we're deporting have less felony convictions than the guy who made the order to deport him.
Yeah, right.
Someone bitched at me that I'm making up statistics. I said, what, just the felons allowed to do that? I'm not allowed to. Yeah, I don't have permission, but he does.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for that dollar.
Yeah, I just create them anyway.
Well, when he had his inauguration the first time, how many people did he say showed up? And then the photographs.
Depends on the day.
No, they showed the photograph.
And that was because he was counting fat people as 3.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, look who's here all of a sudden. Wow. Mandy is showing up. Yeah. Mandy is I'll have to ask her something. I have to ask her something here. Here comes Mandy. Okay, Mandy.
Hello.
Hey, Mandy. Do you have a note from your doctor on why you were late today?
What did you say?
Do you have a note from your doctor on why you were late today?
We had no internet, and the cell service in my building stinks, so I couldn't even get to your page to even get on it with cell service.
Wow. Well, that is a note from the doctor. Okay.
Yeah,
How about a hall pass?
Yes.
That is a hall pass.
And my phone's probably going to overheat here in just a few minutes, so I might not be able to stay on long.
Wait,
but I did want to join.
Wait a minute. Is it?
Oh, there she goes.
Oh, too long.
Still there, Mandy? Mandy? Yeah, turn on your camera. You lost your camera. Can you do it? Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
What? How? You're down in Georgia, right? And it's hot.
Yes.
It's hot today.
It's 89, but it's hot. It's hot in my car. I've got to, I'm trying to cool it off.
Oh, I see. You got in the car after work, and it was hot from being.
Yeah.
You should just have a thing that lets you turn your car on with the air conditioner before you go out to it.
Oh, I wish.
Oh yeah, my car had that.
Because when I was living in Minneapolis, it was so goddamn cold. How cold was it? It was so cold the squirrels had to put lotion on their nuts. Anyway, that's one of the Letterman's things. Anyway, it was really cold. And so I would have to go out to my car a half hour before it was time to leave and go start it and turn on the heater. Okay. And then I would go back in and finish my show. And by the time I got out there, it was warm enough. But if I went out there when it was cold, it was ridiculous. I just couldn't, it was impossible. Well, your phone just dropped. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. It's
Don't you have one of
distracting.
those little
Sorry about
things,
that.
those cup holders or whatever that has the
I changed phone cases and I haven't got myself updated with a thing for my car because this car is kind of new and there's no good to put a holder. It's just kind of compact. So I tried a couple of different things that didn't really work. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
I need to do that. I just keep forgetting.
So the Wi-Fi went out in your office. It's really hot as hell in
Yeah.
Georgia. Does it get humid down there? It gets humid, right?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. It gets humid here too. New York, when I don't mind heat. It can be 90 degrees outside, and if there's no humidity, I'm fine.
Mhm.
But then at a certain point in the year, the humidity sets in. Forget it.
Right around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We really haven't had to go to air conditioning yet. How hot does it get down in Florida? Albert.
When I go down there,
80, 90, 100, depends.
no, I don't
on
stay
the-
that long. If it gets hot, real hot, I'm coming back.
Yeah, that's when the Jews leave Florida.
That's right.
Yeah.
When are they leaving? They're not leaving.
They're gone already.
They're not leaving.
Back here.
Well, they're
And
still here.
sometimes, like you said, oh, I got ripped out. What happened? Because it's supposed to be warm here, and it's cold, and it's rainy, and
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever. Some people just can't handle it. No matter what happens, they're pissed off. That's all right.
Well, I mean, it's sometimes it's too cold, sometimes it's too warm.
Yeah.
My favorite temperature is when outside it's 72. That's just fine,
Yeah.
Not too
That's
hot, not too cold, right?
Yeah.
But when it gets up to 80, I'm not feeling so good.
Mm.
And the other day it was what, 90 here, Marjorie? Close
89.
89?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So,
It was hot.
well,
We've had such a cool summer.
what did you say?
I said we've had such a cool summer out here in California. It's only 75 today.
It's
And
not summer.
And it's spring-like weather, right? It's not no humidity there.
Normally out here by this time we're in the 90s. So
Wow.
We haven't had too many hot days yet either for Georgia. It's been a lot of rain.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Here too in New York, a lot of rain.
Yeah. How hot is it down in Texas, Charlie?
It's 93 degrees right now in Austin.
Oh,
Well, I can't ask you, but Scott, how it is in Texas because you're in Florida.
Well, I just checked and it was only 90 in Dallas, so it's pretty calm and it's 55% humidity. That's like a spring day.
Yeah. It's not above 100. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we lost a couple of real music legends. I don't like to use that term that often, but in this case, it was true. We lost Sly Stone, and we lost Brian Wilson.
Yeah.
Who may have written one of the greatest songs ever. God only knows.
It's a great song. It really is.
It's just on its own. It's just a great song,
Yeah.
And I love Sly Stone. I mean, I thought he brought two types of music together and made it work. It was just terrific. And I'm partial to him because he was a former disc jockey. So
that's cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, in San Francisco. In fact, we have had a guy here. He died last year or this year, last year. Irv Jackson, who you probably know as what was the name he used on the air?
Jack Bishop.
Jack Bishop. And Jack worked with Sly Stone at a radio station in San Francisco. Yeah. Yeah, and then he went from that and put out a record, and it was a hit, and the rest was history. He became a drug addict, and you never saw hell nor high water of him until he died. So there's a very good documentary though on Hulu on Sly Stone. If you want to see it, it's very good. It's excellent. And what were we watching today? We're watching a thing about Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, very good.
I didn't realize all the stuff he did when he was trying to come up. He was like involved in all kinds of things. I interviewed him once. I mentioned it to Marjorie.
Huh.
When he was the editor, Woodstock.
He did
Really?
Woodstock.
Yeah, this was before he did Mean Streets, and he came to the studio and we interviewed him. I think my attitude was, I went, "Can we get the director?" Well, he's not available. Who can I get? We can send up the editor. And I went, "Well, I don't want to do it." Okay, send him. I just want to keep the movie company happy. And they sent Martin Scorsese, but that's it. That's the last interview I ever did with him.
Did anybody see Mission Impossible? I went to see it Saturday.
No, but I've been trying to wait till it comes to the
It's
internet.
It's funny you say that, because at the beginning, before there was only just a couple of previews, and then Tom Cruise comes on the screen and he basically thanks us for being in the theater. Like, we made this, we were very happy to make this movie, and we're so glad you're here, seeing it in the way we meant it for it to be seen, blah, 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 in the theater.
I bet I bet that won't be on the video version that we get.
Of course
No.
not. It was pretty, the stunts, pretty impressive. It's crazy.
Yeah. But now the question is, did you like it?
I'm not, asked Henry, my friend Henry, I said, do I have to
Wait a minute, is he still your friend or your boyfriend?
He's my boyfriend. He's my boo. He's my boo.
He's your
boy.
Hey, good. There. That's loving now.
But I asked him if you needed to see it, like if you needed to see all the other 13 or however many there are. And he said, well, it should stand alone, but there's a couple of things you might not get just, in reference to something, but they kind of do a little bit of flashbacking. So you kind of, if you are just seeing it, you haven't seen all of it, you kind of understand. But I think
yeah,
it's just your basic spy movie.
Yeah.
Basic.
I wonder if this is going to be the last picture of his career.
I doubt it.
I hope so.
That's the thing. It's like, so I loved Tom Cruise back in the day. I loved him. I loved all his movies. I thought he was very versatile, and all his movies.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
But it's like, I just can't get over. You can't deny he makes a good action movie. Just can't deny it. But I just go, why are you such a weirdo? Like, that's what's so sad to me.
He's also. I think the reason I say this may be his last movie. He's starting to show his age.
He's 65.
Well, he can't really do. He can't do a romantic comedy unless.
Is he really 65?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold
He's
on.
born in 1960.
There's a mini Boddicker in the screen.
Hold on a second.
In July, I think his birthday's
how old
July.
is Tom Cruise?
64, almost 65.
Tom Cruise is 62 years old.
62 years old.
62?
Yeah. But it's always been. It's funny in the old days when you had a movie and you had an actor, and he was playing he's been on his career for quite a while, and all of a sudden he's playing against a woman who's 25. Nobody questioned it.
Yeah.
Nobody questioned how weird it looked, for like Cary Grant to be opposite, say Eva Marie Saint, who at the time was probably 30. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing that was just the weirdest thing of all. He played North by Northwest opposite Jesse Royce Landis.
Yep.
Played his mother. He was 11 months younger than he was.
Oh my God.
Yep.
And you
Thought
both,
your baby's
but,
adorable.
oh boy, is that
Killing the show.
is
The
that
Oh,
This is little Alex Bennett.
is that the person who's going to inherit the Boddicker fortune?
No,
Look at that little guy.
What are y'all looking at? What am I missing?
listen,
You're looking at a baby.
It's a baby.
And if we look carefully, we had a dog here. John was holding his dog.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is your dog
missed
still
it.
there?
He just jumped off. He's
Oh.
17.
Wow. I wanted Marjorie to see your dog because she loves dogs. You know.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
can find him.
But anyway, that's an adorable baby. How old?
He's like 4 months.
Wow.
Tomorrow, 4 months tomorrow.
So they're getting to that place, getting to that point where they're good to eat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, veal.
Oh, he didn't like that joke at all.
no, at all.
Wow.
Look at that. He was fine until you said that.
He did.
wow.
Oh my God! Now I'm the worst human being.
Thanks a lot.
on the
Again.
Again.
I just left.
Oh, look,
Good.
there's
Oh,
the
look at that
dog.
face.
There's the dog. Oh, that's adorable. How old is that dog?
He's 17. Andy.
Wow. Wow.
He's an old man.
That's,
Yeah. He
that's
just
4.
keeps talking.
Yeah, that's 4 months in human years. So it's just
Yeah.
John had there.
That's right.
How old are you in dog years, Alex?
Is that is that your only grandchild, Scott?
My other one's in the house. My granddaughter. Yeah, that was a
Okay.
grandson, granddaughter.
How old is she?
Together here in South Carolina.
How old is she?
She is 6 months.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Two different
Different daughters.
What? Oh, two different
Different
daughters. Oh, okay.
Different
Because I thought, boy, I'd hate to see the kegels on that one.
Oh, Jesus.
They were twins, and the mom is pissed.
Yeah.
Love Lynn's reactions.
Oh boy, that's going to be great. You know.
Yeah, they're going to be best friends, we hope. Yeah.
How old are you now?
67.
67. Yeah. Let's see here. Maybe you could become a great grandfather, but I doubt it.
It's possible. My wife's mother, my mother-in-law, just became a great grandmother at 94. So
Really.
there's hope. Yeah.
My business manager, who's now 90, has, I think, any number of grandchildren now.
Yeah.
Great grandchildren, rather. Great grandchildren.
I have 4.
For what? Grandchildren?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
17, 7, 3, and 4 months. 5 months.
Wow.
I think Jack Bishop had like 8 great grandkids.
he had 8 He never
Great
told me that. He never told me that.
Yeah, he had his grandkids had kids already.
Hmm.
Wow.
So
That's amazing. That's
My
amazing.
phone is super hot. I gotta hang up.
Okay. I think it's a great phone too. Oh,
Did you say your phone or you?
My phone.
Oh, okay.
yeah. Well, anyway, we'll let you go. I understand that, you know, that
Gonna
happens
get a
this kind of weather.
bye together.
Okay. Let's all wave goodbye.
Goodbye, y'all. Have a great week.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
too.
Yeah. So anyway, so what's new in your life down there, Albert? Anything? Just going to the pool.
No, just the regular stuff. I must not have a lot to do because I've been here 2 weeks in a row. It's unprecedented.
Really? Where do you go when you go somewhere?
Usually I'm at the gym.
Oh,
You just haven't left the house, is what you're saying.
No, I went to the gym earlier today.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, nothing going on except for no king rallies. You know, that's about.
I mean, do you ever just you and the wife take the car and go drive somewhere far away?
Not far away, no,
No. Okay.
because everything's the same. You know, it's all the same stuff everywhere you go.
Well, Marjorie says to
Oh,
me,
it's the container store. It's the same shit everywhere you go.
well, Marjorie says to me, we should go out and take a walk. And I go, where? You know, what's here? Nothing. It's pavement. You know?
park's very nice.
Yeah, there's a park up the street, but I've seen it all the time. I know that park. I know the little lake we have called the Mere. I mean,
You live in New York City and you're complaining that there's no place to go? What?
there's
Crazy.
no place to go.
Try a museum.
I've been everywhere here.
I
We
see.
go again.
We go again.
Yes.
Does that include having to walk?
Walking.
That's it. You're not getting a headstone. That's
Huh?
it.
I'm not getting a headstone.
Done.
I'm through with the headstone.
Right. No headstone for you.
But no, it's I just get to the point where I go, where's it to go? I go out. Okay. Marjorie says, let's go out to eat. There are 3 restaurants we go to. That's it. I say, let's experiment with another one. And she says, nah, let's just go to the ones we always go to. So that's not exciting. I mean, I'm looking for some place that doesn't serve Chinese or Italian because everything we order out for is Chinese or Italian.
You don't like Chinese?
You live in New York, man. It's all there. Everything
Right.
you want is there.
But that's all we ever order though. What can we order, Marjorie, that's different?
Well, look at the menu and see
Have
what
a
the
steak.
store is.
Have a steak. They used to have a dial of steak here in New York. Yeah, and they would come with a steak and a steak knife.
Wow.
No.
And I had like 20 steak knives in my house, and they were all the same. They're really good.
Go down to the automat, put a quarter and see what
And the
happens.
steaks were terrific. They really were. And the hardest thing you wouldn't want to order out for a steak, and I'll tell you why. It's because they cook it. And let's say you want it rare, or you want it whatever, and they cook it and they put it in the thing and they send it out to you. By the time it gets to you, it's already cooked itself.
Yeah.
It's still cooking.
Huh?
It's still cooking.
Yeah, it's self-cooking. I always tell Marjorie when she gets a hamburger, get it rare. She said, well, I don't like rare. I like medium rare. I said, get it rare because by the time it gets to the table, it's going to have cooked itself more.
Yeah.
And you'll get
Nobody knows.
medium
Nobody
rare.
knows how to cook rare. Yeah, it's hard.
Well, you can cook rare. It's a matter of getting it to the table rare.
Yeah, yeah.
Because meat keeps cooking.
Yep.
Yeah. So that the other day she went to this is a funny. This is why I love her. Okay. This restaurant we go to, and we went to it a while back, and she orders a hamburger, and she has it, and she says, "This is the worst hamburger I've ever had in my life."
Right, but we have to say that it's about 10 years ago.
No, this was about 6 months ago.
No, it was about 10
Let me
years.
finish the story. So you say, I never want to come back here again. So we're trying to figure out where to go and eat soon or next. And she says, oh, let's go there. Why not? And I said, oh, okay, if you want to go there, it's a good restaurant. I like it. It has some good Italian food and so on and so forth. So we go down there and she orders something else. She knows not to order the hamburger. Now it's 6 months later. And
10 years.
we go down there and she orders the hamburger. And guess what? It's terrible. And I mean, I even agree it was terrible. It was overcooked, right?
It was horrible.
Because you asked for it medium rare, and by the time it got here, or it got to your table rather,
It was well done.
It had already grown up, let's put it that way. Okay. So I had to remind her that she'd had the hamburger there before, but she couldn't remember that. And she couldn't remember that she never wanted to go back to that restaurant because of the hamburger. So anyway. It looks like Albert has something he wants to say.
Not a thing, no.
You always look like you have something you want to say.
I don't. I really don't.
I got to run. It's Hamburger Monday.
Okay. You have to go. You have to go at this time, don't you? When we're over. Yeah. You have stuff to do. Well,
I got a hamburger waiting for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Deutsch. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. In fact, I probably should start saying goodbye to the rest of you, but I like you so much, I'm going to keep you here for the next couple of hours.
Hi.
Yeah, there goes Scott
Hot out here.
Is it hot? Is it? But wait a minute, you're indoors or you're on a porch.
It's on a porch. It's only 84, but it's like 80% humidity.
Yeah.
It's outrageous.
Oh, wow.
Outrageous. Well, we'll let everybody go. They all look like they're dying from heat fatigue, except, of course, for one person here who never leaves his house. But we'll say goodbye to him shortly. Goodbye to Scott Boddicker. Thank you, Scotland. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. I
Nice
really
being here.
do. Marjorie, it's nice having you here. What's for dinner?
The surprise.
She always says that, a surprise.
Hamburger.
It's an overdone hamburger from the restaurant you can't stand. Let's thank Len LaFrisco. Len, thank you so much. John Ewing up there in you're in where is it?
Nevada.
Nevada.
Thank you.
I can always remember Petaluma. I can always remember San Rafael. Nevada, which is between them. I always
Right.
have a hard time remembering.
It's all good, man.
Paul Levin, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You haven't said a word for the whole show, Charlene.
I know.
Well, you just did.
I'm boring. That's why
You're not. We just love having you here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Next time you call, though, I'm going to call on you more often and see.
I did tell Scott that I thought his grandson was adorable.
Well,
so I did say something.
Yes. Well, very good. Bravo. Thank you, Charlene. Really appreciate it. Always love having you here. Charlie, of course, great. You're only one up almost by Jeff, who I think said a few words today.
Few
Right?
words. I'll tell you, my favorite restaurant is Sangria in the Village.
With
It's
Sangria
Spanish.
in the Village?
Yes.
Spanish restaurant?
Yes.
It looks like Albert knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Spanish restaurants in New York anymore, even though I haven't been there in a while, but I know Sangria is one of them. How's the paella there, Jeff?
Excellent.
Well, the place is called Sangria.
Oh, Sangria, yeah.
Marjorie, let's go there.
Okay.
Right now, let's go.
There you go.
Call up a lift and we'll go down there. It only costs us
I'll
$100.
go with you guys sometime.
Costs $100 for the lift and $200 for the dinner, right? And thanks, of course, to Albert Reynoso, my longtime friend and companion when I was doing radio, and my producer for many a year, and now resides down in Florida and has the title of my best friend.
Call back, Albert.
What?
Call back.
Quebec.
Call back when
She says, call this show more back.
Oh yeah, I will if I remember. That's the problem. Usually it's
Well, we all have that
5:30 on Monday, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Well, I'll send you a note every Monday.
Oh, please do.
I will. And finally, I want to thank the lovely and attractive Edward Berger, who signs our show off by saying,
"That's all, folks."
Everybody wave goodbye. I'll see you next week, folks.
Thanks, Alex. Have a good one.